My name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart for Ronald Reagan, President Ronald Reagan, through the lens of Vedic sidereal astrology, not tropical Western astrology. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Sagittarius, the ninth sign, ruled by Jupiter, rising at 4 degrees. 4 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet like Saturn that's within 5 degrees has a lot of impact in the chart. We're going to see how the planets are functioning and when they're functioning, because not everything happens all at once, the timing of events, and then we'll look and see what could be done to rectify the chart. So, we want to see if there are any multicorner signs. Multicorner signs are, many planets rule 2 signs, but there are more closely connected to one of those signs than the other. And the sign that they're most closely connected to becomes the multicorner signs, which are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. For example, Venus rules Taurus and Libra, and Venus is all about relationships as well as Libra, so it's more connected to Libra than it is to Taurus. So any multicorner signs that fall in the Dustana or challenging houses 6, 8, or 12, the ruler of that sign can cause some challenges. So here we have Cancer, which is a multicorner sign ruled by Moon. So Moon, along with Ketu and Rahu, that are challenging for every chart, are the ones that can cause some issues at some point during transits or the birth chart. So let's look and see how these, wherever we see those multicorner signs in whatever house, every one of these houses describes some area of our life. And so we have the 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, in that third house. Third house has to do with performing arts, so he's learning about acting. And then we have the first sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the 5th house. So he's learning about, he had 5 children. This is the house of children. It's the house of entertainment. So learning about acting again. And then we have investments and education. So all of that. And Mars is itself giving courage. Then we have, again, that 4th sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon, in the 8th house of vulnerability. So he's learning about some obstacles, some challenges, some research into acting parts. This is the house of research. Then we have the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun, in the 9th house of religion, belief system, government. So he's, politics, all of that's associated with this house. Sun itself is politics, so learning how to be a politician. Then we have the 6th sign of Virgo in the house of career. So this ruled by Mercury. So career through service. Virgo is the sign of service and communication through acting and public speaking. Then we have the 7th sign of Venus in the house of income. So income comes through wife. His wife was very wealthy. And also Venus is performing arts. So the acting and social connections through the politics. Then we have the 9th sign of life purpose, Jupiter. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter gives longevity, life purpose, through writing. He had a journal that he kept and that was published. So all of that. So now let's look and see individually the planets and how they're operating. So we have Sun at 23 degrees, ruling the house of good fortune, placed in the house of wealth and recognition. And so we see that He had good fortune through the politics, through leadership. Sun itself is leadership and recognition. So through the acting career, he gained a lot of recognition, and that name recognition helped him become president. Then we have Moon at 21 degrees. And we know that it can cause some issues, some vulnerabilities. So Moon gave mental vulnerability, which led to Alzheimer's. Moon is mind and emotions, and Moon is also placed in the house of children. So he did lose one child. I think died after a year or something, and then also in a Sagittarius chart, this 8th house becomes the indicator for relationships. So there was some drama in the first marriage and got a divorce. This is also the house of prostrate issues. So he did have some prostrate issues. This is the house of secrets. When he was president of the Actors Guild, he was the informer for any communists in Hollywood. And in fact, we'll talk a little bit about that later. So then Mars is it's ruling this house of competition and sports. So he was very involved in sports and military. This is a house of entertainment, so ambition and passion for acting and entertaining other people. Courage to be in politics. And he was the captain of the swim team and involved in football. Mercury's at 28 degrees, so any planet that's more than 25 or less than 5 becomes in infant state or old age. And old age persons or infants have trouble protecting and promoting their own significations. So it's basically, this is that career house, career through service. Virgo's about service, and then Mercury's about communication, acting, public speaking. He was a radio announcer. So in business. Jupiter's at 21 degrees, again ruling the house of life purpose and longevity and health. He did have some problems with his hips. Jupiter's an indicator for hips. And it is afflicted by Rahu. It's 9 houses away. 7 houses away. So that probably caused those hip issues. And Jupiter is also, giving him that ability to write. He has the diaries. He was involved in religion. Jupiter's indicator for religion and government. So all of those things. Venus, indicator for wife, and in this case, it rules the house of income and social connections and friends. Placed in the house of performing arts and success. So got that success through his social connections, and politics is all about social connections. And his wife, Nancy, he met through, during that time when all the communists were being exposed in the witch hunt. She was falsely accused. She had the same name as another lady who was a communist, and she had to come to Reagan because he was in charge of that acting guild, and that's how they met. So interesting. Saturn is at 8 degrees. It's close to the most effective point, within 4 degrees, so it has a lot of impact. And Saturn itself is about service. It's placed in this house of entertainment, and it's ruling the house of performing arts. So it says that, he can have success through, and then Saturn is conservative politics, public service, and acting. So all of those things are there. Let's see here. We have Rahu and Ketu. They're at 21 degrees, and they can cause some issues. Now, in this chart, they're not causing many issues because they're not close to the most effective point. So they're not afflicting any houses. Only Jupiter is afflicted. And so not causing too much harm. And that's probably his hip issues there. But Rahu gives desire, ambition for entertainment, acting. And then you have Ketu giving insights into income. So he had this philosophy called Reaganomics about the economy and income. So, so those are the main points. We're going to look at the timing of events. So in 66, he became president during a Jupiter-Mercury period. Jupiter is government. Mercury is service. So that made sense. Then he got shot in 81, and that was during a period where transit Rahu and Ketu were in the 8th house, afflicting Jupiter, which is the vitality, our body, and Mars is injury and accident. So all of those were involved there. In 84, he got reelected during a Saturn-Venus period. Venus gives income, winning in an election, and then Saturn is again that service to the public. And then he fell off a horse. Oh, wait a minute. He had colon cancer surgery in 85 during a transit. Rahu was on natal Rahu, which is called the nodal return, and this can cause quite a bit of issues in the chart. And that was in the 5th house. So that's the colon, and so and Rahu is Cancer. So that he fell off a horse during a Saturn-Mars period. Mars is accident. Saturn is longevity, being affected. He had hip surgery during a transit. Jupiter was transiting the 6th house of accidents, and then he died in 2004. So let's look at that transit chart. So when he died, we have transit Rahu and Ketu afflicting. So the inner circle is where the planets were when he was born, and the outer circles are where the planets were when he died, the transits. So we have Rahu and Ketu afflicting natal Jupiter, which is the body and the life. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and yeah, Jupiter here, which is the body and the vitality. And then also Ketu afflicting Saturn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, afflicting Saturn. Saturn is itself an indicator for longevity. So what can we do to strengthen the chart? Well, we definitely want to strengthen Mercury because it's weak in old age, and several of the other planets would have benefited him probably to help him from not having so many accidents and Alzheimer's as well. And that could have been done through gemstones. So for Sun, a ruby, or wearing orange colors to strengthen his leadership abilities. Venus, to strengthen his acting skills and relationships. A diamond. Saturn, blue sapphire, to strengthen his service. Mercury, to strengthen his communication skills with a green emerald or wearing green. And Mars wearing red coral or red clothing to strengthen his entertaining skills and his courage. Or wearing a locket called the Kavash that contains the Devataya yantras for all those different planets. That would be an easy economical solution. Then you would want to transform Moon by helping women and Shiva chants on Mondays, and Rahu, a Shiva chants, and helping people who cannot help themselves, as well as Ketu, helping religious organization and Ganesh chants or any kind of chanting. And so these types of transforming we don't want to strengthen the malefics, we want to transform them. And he was always doing a lot of, he had Reagan organizations that donated to the different people. So he was probably doing some of those charity work. So those are the main points for the chart. Thank you for listening. If you would like a reading, you can go to www.vastucreations.com under services. You can get astrological readings there. Or if you would like to learn Transformation Vedic Astrology, go to American Institute of Vastu.com. Thank you so much again for listening.